There's a rhythm to a story, a pacing. Sometimes it is fast, sometimes it is slow, and sometimes there is no real consistency. As a director though, it is your job to know the beat. Or the story beats. Story beats are not something that lives only in the micro-budget filmmaking world. Story beats transcend budget and are present in all stories. Movies, written, documentaries, anything story related really. Then, what is a story beat? According to Wikipedia, story beats are specific, measured, and spaced to create a pace that moves the progress of the story forward. Audience feel uneven or erratic beats. Uneven beats are the most forgettable or sometimes tedious parts of a film. Erratic beats jolt the audience unnecessarily. Every cinematic genre has a beat that is specific to its development. Action film has significantly more beats, usually events. Drama has fewer beats, usually protagonist decisions or discovery. Between each beat, a sequence occurs. This sequence is often a series of scenes that relates to the last beat and leads up to the next beat. Well, that is the most useless bit of information I've ever read. How the heck does that help you understand story beats? Okay, maybe there are a few things in there that are helpful. For me, story beats are when new pertinent information is revealed that helps to progress the story. Yeah, that doesn't help much either. But if I could define a story beat with one word, escalation. Without that, you have a mundane, boring story that is more of just a string of events with no real purpose or conflict. Let's look at some real-life examples of story beats.
Mr. Calvino, Mike Sullivan's here.
Oh, shit.
Wants to see you.
Ah, shit. Is he packing?
Not anymore.
You stick around, okay?
One thing you should notice is that story beats do not have to be dialogue. They are actions and scenes in response to a situation. They are anything that tells you more about the story and is usually something you didn't know before.
Am I behind again? Am I in trouble?
I don't know.
Here, something is in that letter that is causing everyone to be on edge. We know something is wrong just by the reactions.
We are not focusing on screenwriting here. This is all about directing. You know what is funny though, is if it is done right in the script writing stage, then it makes it a whole lot easier during production and editing process. A quick overview as to what an escalation actually is. According to Google, an escalation is a rapid increase or a rise. In movie terms, what is that? Well, for me, an escalation is when the stakes in the story get worse. In the grand scheme of things, this might feel like it will produce a whole heck of a lot of story beats. True, but if we look at the word beat as defined by dictionary.com, it says to strike violently or forcefully, repeatedly. Notice two things in there. There's a level of conflict in the word, and it repeats. It repeats. Repeats. So let's say you have a piece of music that is written in a 4/4 time signature. There are 48 bars of music, which would mean there are 192 beats in that piece of music. Now I'm no math wizard, but that sounds like a whole heck of a lot more than the 15 beats presented by Blake Snyder and the 22 from John Truby. It is actually 177 or 170 more than that, respectively. But you're making a movie, not writing a song. Okay. Think of each scene as a measure of music. It is your job as a director to identify each beat within each scene. Why? You have to keep things moving and on track. As any jazz musician will tell you, if you miss a beat, then you throw things all off. Back to finding the story beats. As you go through your script scene by scene, make a mark indicating each time there is an escalation. Indicate who the escalation is applied to, as there will be different escalations for each character. As you are directing the scene, you will know when the beats are, how to accentuate them, and really focus on their importance, which will help to drive your story forward and get your audience to stay in the car longer. If you're really stuck on the John Truby and Blake Snyder approach, then just think of them as movements within the full composed piece of music. And please don't feel like you have to hit the page count milestones. If the story calls for something unique, then just let it be unique. Refer to the Corey Mandel approach shared in episode 1. If you think of your movie as a piece of music, then you will quickly learn that there are less beats in some songs than there are in others, or vice versa. You see, each song has its own unique set of beats to fit that song best. Just like your movie that you are building a unique organic structure with. The beats are going to fluctuate because we're not all writing or making the same movie. Thank goodness. So if you want to hear more of my filmmaking insights, then consider subscribing and joining the quest to make micro-budget filmmaking profitable and more than just a hobby. Filmmaking, micro-budget, no problem.